Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to Roll with the Troll. You are here with me, the Troll.
You are the Troll.
Yeah, and we're also here with the voice of reason.
That's me.
My lovely co-host.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
Halloween ends. We saw this.
Yeah, we did.
There's so many things to talk about.
There are a lot of things to talk about, like the nut stabbing, right?
What?
How about the nut stabbing in that film?
I don't remember any nut stabbing in this film.
I certainly do. As an audience member, we all had our nuts stabbed deliberately when we thought we were going to see a Halloween film.
I see what
and
you
we
did
ended up.
there.
You like how that went down there? Yes, that's what happens. Seriously, how about that brutal, bloody, that really vicious ass beating, though? You want to talk about that one? At least we'll.
When Michael and Corey team up and assault
No, not that. No, I meant again the audience. We took a vicious, brutal, bloody beating, thinking that we were going to see a Halloween film.
All right,
and instead we got this really like off-topic, like unrelated, kind of indie film kind of thing about this goofy fucking kid named Corey.
Yeah.
So that was my problem there. This movie was scary, though. I will give it that. It wasn't a Halloween film, but I did find it scary, voice of reason.
Which part scared you the most?
The reviews. I think reading the reviews, I felt so terrified. I felt like, my God, this is so hard to even read these or to give one myself. We're getting serious now?
Yes.
You want to get off of this and get into the real.
This is the one movie where we really see a true butchering.
I'll tell you about a butchering of fan expectations. How about that? How about we went in expecting to see a film about Michael Myers.
You're still doing the shtick.
Yeah, I'm still doing the shtick. Yeah, the fan expectations were butchered.
Let's get onto a topic. How about that?
Okay.
How about the time jump?
The time jump. You mean from the time I thought I was seeing a movie about Michael Myers, and then instead it turned out that I was actually seeing a movie about some nerdy kid named Corey
you like anything
who
about
bangs
this movie,
Allison.
Troll?
I did like, as long as you're asking me honestly, I actually did enjoy the ending.
You like the final fight?
No. When the movie stops. When the credits are done and when we got up and left the theater, that part I liked a lot.
Did you not
that
like
felt
any
good
of
to
the
get on.
There were a lot of twists.
The only twist I really remember was the twisting of the knife from David Gordon Green and Jamie Lee Curtis in my heart as a fan who grew up with this fucking franchise and who loved Halloween up until now. That twist, is that the twist you're referring to?
It was not, but it's the twist that you are referring to. So
it absolutely is. Yeah,
I've lost all control.
Yep.
Let's just go with it.
It's gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about this movie, though?
All right. Look, it's not.
We had high hopes in the beginning.
Here's what happened. The first 20 or so minutes or so, I was pretty into it.
Me too.
I really enjoyed the beginning. I actually even think the beginning, and I don't mean just the intro, but the beginning, the whole story of Corey and Jeremy and how the kid falls and everything. Jeremy.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was not only good, it did fit Halloween. To me, it still felt like, I thought it was a little weird that a 21-year-old boy is, fucking being a babysitter to a kid. I think that was a little odd.
He was doing them a favor.
Okay, still a little crowbarred in, but okay, it doesn't really happen that way. But regardless, he was helping him out, and I thought it was fitting enough for the Halloween franchise. So the beginning of it, I was cool with.
Well, and I was so into it. I really did think in that beginning section that the implication was that Michael was there in the house after,
Yeah, I thought we were going to be on the hook for that. That like later we might find out he actually was in the house. Maybe he wasn't. And maybe Michael threw Jeremy at the end. We don't really know what happened to Jeremy exactly because look, the beginning there was pretty good. Yeah. By the way, I don't mean the very, very intro to the film because when it opened up with that radio. Well, that was fine, but the radio guy that we don't like, the DJ, and that whole thing, I just thought, why would you start it off like that, like a fun thing? Notice, though, they used the font from the blue font from Halloween 3. Did you notice that?
Yes.
I thought that was a surprise.
It threw me off a little bit.
I didn't want that. I thought what they were trying to tell us was this is going to be another Halloween 3 in a way. This is going to be another one that really, I'm not making a joke, that sort of subverts expectations and you expect one thing. Also,
you're
Halloween 3.
To see Michael, but you won't.
Right. In Halloween 3, you think you're going to get Michael and you don't.
Yeah.
Then they said that we learned our lesson. It's got to be Michael Myers. Got to be Michael Myers. I don't think this movie really learned its lesson 40 years later because you still hardly have Michael Myers in it. And
like Laurie Strode.
Right. Well, we'll talk more about that as we get more into it. But I mean, this movie, just to make that point in the beginning, was like when they showed us the the part the font, that blue font from Halloween 3, I thought, what are they saying here?
Yeah.
And the way that it didn't really start with the creepy music, it started with this kind of funny little scene from the DJ. So anyway, but enough of that. So getting back to the real intro to the film, the real the narrative, I did think it was really cool up until Corey was he was knocked down by those kids when he fell, and then he was grabbed by someone and hauled off. And I thought, here we go. Now we're going to put Michael Myers into this, and this is really going to get good. Instead, that's where the movie went to shit. Because then, even though we introduced Michael, it wasn't normal Michael.
It was not.
And really, that was the same problem I had with Allison, was not herself. And Jamie Lee Curtis was not playing the same Laurie Strode.
These three main characters, I felt really discombobulated by them, to be honest. Like, so our first exposure to Michael is him grabbing Corey from the dark, but he locks eyes with Corey and then he lets him live. Like, when have we ever seen him do that?
Very bizarre. And without creating a flashback. See, this is where they could have done a Loomis flashback. Remember in some old videos I kept saying Loomis could have been kind of the narrator and through flashbacks to explain some of this weird shit.
Oh, that's good.
Because someone had to explain it, because I'm fucking lost, voice of reason. That would have been, because I was so confused. Once Michael came into the picture, I really had hoped that now this great intro, or at least good intro, was now about to get awesome because Michael works into it. Instead, I watched two completely different movies that had nothing to fucking do with each other at all.
That's what it felt like.
To me, this was absolutely a movie that should have been a standalone. I think someone was saying that it should have just been called like Haddonfield or something. And that would have been fine. And then they had that script and they said, okay, now work Michael Myers into it. And Michael Myers had no business being in this. And that's the problem. I mean, what I'm saying into this story, better yet, this story had no business being in Halloween Ends. That's the better way to say it.
Yeah, I agree. It could have been a really good, like, jumping off platform for like the next, generation of horror films, where it was almost like an homage to Michael Myers. Yeah. But clearly he's not going to be the focus or the bad guy anymore.
This was so stupid. Let me point out some of the big problems. First of all, there was all these rumors that like COVID was going to be part of the storyline.
Yeah, what happened to that?
Completely went out the window, didn't even mention it, not a mask in sight except for Michael's. So absolutely skipped over that. Then there was a whole thing about how the radio tower, another thing David Gordon Green lied to us about. He said the radio tower is going to explain
something.
It explained nothing. Corey told some story about how he used to go up there to jerk off or something like that. And that was the end of it. And I thought, all right, well, it doesn't explain anything about Michael. Really not good. Jumping ahead real quick. Remember at the end of the film how the sheriff, the guy in the cowboy hat, how someone said to him, "This is not how we do things." And he goes, "It's how we do things now." I almost felt like they were talking to us. Like this is not how we do a Halloween film. And they're like, fuck it. This is how we do it now. We screw you guys over. We get you to come to the theater. Do you realize, I'm jumping around here, but do you realize the marketing? I thought the marketing was just trying to keep the plot a surprise. Because so they only showed us the little fight with him and Laurie, and they were wanting to keep a lot of things out. Now I realize, no, it's because if they let on at all that this was mostly about Corey. Yeah. Corey's the main character. Yeah. We didn't even fucking know Corey in the other films. Yeah. Which is another dumb thing. Shouldn't we have seen him a little bit? Shouldn't he have been a kid who had some connection to somebody? This is so odd that all of a sudden he's the main character, even above Laurie, in my opinion, above Laurie and Allison. Yeah. And certainly above Michael. I mean, this is a really forced. This movie screams of just forcing something in it. It screams. It's so Last Jedi, that like it's not the normal organic.
It sinks to that level, but I know what you're saying.
I think it almost sinks that low. Really, it's so odd. Let me point some things out.
Nothing has reached that level for me, but
let me say this. So, okay, in Halloween 2018, guys, I want to make a really profound point here. I think. In Halloween 2018, we were led to believe that even though it had been 40 years since Laurie was attacked. Keep in mind, there's no Halloween 2 in this timeline, okay? So she didn't, go to the hospital and have Michael stalk her there, too, and there's the shooting from Loomis and everything. None of that happened in this timeline. But we were led to believe that Halloween 2018 had Laurie Strode for 40 years being so torn up about what happened Halloween night that she's sitting there with guns everywhere and it's her whole focus. All she cares about is killing Michael.
Made her home into a fortress and a booby trap all in one.
And that now, after he kills the kid she was babysitting for, her daughter, her son-in-law, tries to kill her granddaughter, kills her granddaughter's boyfriend, after he kills everybody else around only a few short years ago now she's over it. Now she's like, that's okay, I've moved on, I wrote my memoirs, I'm having a nice life now baking a pie.
I bought a house, I'm baking a pie.
Right. I'm sorry, guys, that's backwards. This should have been the Laurie at the beginning of 2018. Right? In the 2018 film.
Right.
Where she's over it. It's been 40 years. I'm not saying she didn't go through trauma, but it was 40 years later. You know, she raised a family and shit. So the story should have been that she was more calm then. And now she set up her house. She's got the guns. She's got the booby trap. She's got everything, the explosives, the grenades. Now it should have been that. So all I could think during this movie was like, this is so ass backwards. Mm-hmm. I don't even feel like this is the Laurie Strode we would have especially after Karen gets killed.
Right.
And Tommy and everyone else too, but Karen especially. So you got to be kidding me that we're supposed to swallow this story. I absolutely do not buy it one bit. Bullshit. Mm-hmm. Then Allison's completely weird because I know she wasn't a bright kid. Well, she wasn't a brilliant kid in the first couple films, but she was savvy enough. And now she's just like, throws herself into Corey's orbit. Like, I have to be with you. I want your cock inside me right now.
Oh my God.
And like, she's when Corey turns to her and says, I killed a guy earlier. She just kind of like,
that's so weird.
She glossed over it in the way that David Gordon Green and Jamie Lee Curtis wanted us to gloss over all the flaws in this film. They're just
let it go. She moved on to the next topic. Like, okay.
What do you
want to do for dinner?
By the way, before Corey, why was she banging that guy, that cop? Like,
ew.
That guy looked way older than her. He's gross. Like, I couldn't even believe that, like, and then when the cop comes up to them at the restaurant, by the way, like, I think it's awesome that Corey stood up to him and wanted to go kill him. I think that's fucking great.
Yeah, you were way into that.
Yeah, that part was good. I enjoyed that. But the rest of this movie to me, really, first of all, this story that they're telling about Corey has been told a lot before. It is like Christine, and it is like a lot of other stories where you kind of get the demon force to kind of to kind of join. And by the way, I'm never going to get this vision out of my head of Michael Myers teaming up with a nerdy kid and killing people together. Yeah. And when they went to the doctor's house, think about this. Michael was at the doctor's house to kill with Corey. Mm-hmm. But Corey rode his motorcycle. So how did Michael get there? Was Michael on the motorcycle with Corey?
Were they really? I don't know.
I hope Michael got an Uber or something. I don't want to think that they rode there together. Right. Is that a deleted scene somewhere? Did they get on the motorcycle together like boyfriend and girlfriend and ride there? Oh my God. There were too many things going on in my head.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh, because I just kept thinking, like, is this nearby? Was it within walking distance? I hope so. Holy shit. You know, and this team up, do you realize how stupid this was? When Michael starts stabbing that cop in the little tunnel thing. Yeah. And then Corey's like watching him in awe.
He's holding the cop.
Yeah, okay, he's holding the cop, but he's watching Michael like in awe.
Like he's studying, and taking notes in his head.
Does he actually say something like, show me how it's done or something like that? He does say that, right?
He did say that.
I started thinking, I was imagining that. Nope. What is Michael Myers doing a fucking online course in stabbing? I mean, this is ridiculous.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, now when you're stabbing a guy, first of all, you don't need someone to teach you how to murder people. You just learn on the go, right?
I guess.
I mean, the greats have learned on the go.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. So he's looking at Michael like Michael's supposed to like teach him the art of murder. This is the dumbest fucking movie. I'm sorry. I enjoyed the beginning. Mm-hmm. And it was, as soon as Michael came into it, it went from being like seemingly headed somewhere to just being stupid. Michael, by the way, you got to explain. If you're going to do this shit, you need to actually explain why Michael would team up with a kid. Don't show us the thing where Michael looked into his eyes and then we saw like a few flashes of stuff. That's really stupid. Because you know what, guys, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to split this into two parts because there's a lot to talk about here. Yeah. So I'll tell you what.
Button while you're at it.
Yeah, if you could like our video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, comment. I really will, guys, if ever there's been a time to comment, it's now. And then I'm going to bitch in the next video. We're going to do a part 2 shortly. We might need a part 3 because I have a lot to say here. But I'm going to bitch in the next video about why this particular scene is a really big problem to the whole franchise, okay? So, all right. So yeah, comment down below, guys. Let us know what you think so far of everything we've talked about. We'll be back shortly with a part 2 for this.
Yes, we will.
You guys are the best. We got the coolest fucking audience in the world. We'll see you then.
Thanks.